Hey, Kittch. How's it going? My name's Kristen Solorzano. I am the recipe developer and content creator behind What's the Frickin' Recipe? And today I'm showing you how to elevate your desserts, cocktails with a nice festive garnish. We're going to be making sugared cranberries and mint. And I love making these to decorate my cheesecakes and tarts and cocktails for the holidays. It just feels festive and elevated without it being I guess corny. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll get like a holiday dessert and it's just like fluorescent green and fluorescent red and it's just kind of in your face. But for me, this is a more subtle way of decorating your desserts and it's one of my favorites. Plus, it just kind of gives you that winter frosted look. So it's super easy and I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's get into it. Okay. So I got my cranberry and cranberry on, and I don't know if it's like a Britney Justin denim moment, but I'm here for it. Cranberry, we're doing cranberries. Let's do it. Okay. So first so the recipe, if you go over to the right, you can kind of toggle over there. I'm making a half batch. So this is just a quarter of a cup of water. And the first step is making a simple syrup. So we're gonna make a simple syrup back here on the stove. I have my water. Oh geez, I should turn on my stove, huh? That's like step one. Okay, so I have my water and then I have the equal parts amount of just granulated sugar. And if I'm being completely honest, it's a little clumpy because I made some ahead of time. And I didn't want to waste the sugar, so I'm making simple syrup with the sugar that I had with the cranberries I made ahead of time. So as you know, because you're pros, right? Simple syrup is just sugar and water, equal parts sugar and water. And it's used to flavor your cocktails, mocktails, or, make some sugared cranberries. So really what you're looking for is you're just trying to dissolve the sugar in the water as it heats up. So if you can see, there's little sugar granules still in there. But that's what we're looking for. Back in the day when I worked at a restaurant, one of my jobs was to make the fresh agua frescas in the morning. So I would be making simple syrup every morning, but we had the instant boil water. You do not want to whisk too quickly on that. Definitely burned my hand a few times, admittedly. Not my favorite moment. All right, so that's what we're going for. See how it's already starting to kind of dissolve? And since we are working on a smaller scale, it is going to come together a little bit quicker than you would if you were to use like a full cup, a cup half a cup ratio. And if it does get too hot, it is good to let the mixture cool a little bit because we don't want to necessarily cook our cranberries when we do add them to the simple syrup. So look at that. See how all the sugar granules have already kind of dissolved in with the rest of the simple syrup? That's what we're looking for. Okay. So that came together pretty quickly, just in a matter of minutes. So I'm going to take y'all back over here so we can get a aerial and a side view of our cranberries. Okay. So I do have some simple syrup already made. Let me get my slotted spoon here. All right. So here's my simple syrup that I had made earlier. I'm gonna scooch all. There we go. Okay, that makes me feel better. All right, so simple syrup, same ratios I used earlier. So quarter cup, water to sugar. And then I have some washed cranberries, and I also dried them because I don't want excess. Drop the cranberry. I don't want excess water in this mixture because the whole point is to get the sugar to stick to the cranberry. So if we add an excessive amount of water without that added sugar, we're not going to get the result that we want. So even though you may say, Kristen, that sounds redundant to dry off the cranberries before throwing them into a liquid, it's really not. So even though you may be thinking it, it's really not. All right. So I have my cranberries in with my simple syrup and I have a slotted spoon. But first, before I start doing that, I'm going to put some sugar down. And this is just like 1/8 of a sheet pan. You could use a plate. Doesn't really matter. I like to kind of spread it around a little bit. And I do like to work in batches. So right now, I'm just shaking any excess simple syrup off with the slotted spoon. And I'm going to put it in our syrup. And I do like to sprinkle over the top so it gets that nice sugar dusted look. And you can kind of move it around too. To get them nice and frosty. There we go. Forgot to get a plate. 1 second. I need a plate. There we go. And then once you get that first batch in there, you just add it to a plate. And they do need to dry. They need to set essentially for about 2 hours. And you'll notice after that setting time, they'll get super frosted. So right now, I'll show you comparison in a second. But let me get through the rest of these. More sugar. I hope y'all are following the Kittch Cookie Challenge. We're in round 2 right now. It's pretty exciting. Javée won the round that I did with her, but it was super fun to do with her. I was very excited. We also have some also amazing content coming up. Look, that's just so pretty. You know what I mean? Oh, did you see how that one was like, I don't want to go? It just rolled right back into the simple syrup. Oh, geez. See, isn't live cooking demos fun? You get to see the mess ups, the good stuff. You get to get right in the action. We're all human, right? We all make errors. I make mistakes all the time. There we go. All right. All right, I think that's good for this particular demo with the cranberries. But we're also going to do this to some mint. So I will say that the mint is a little bit less forgiving than cranberries because it is a fresh herb. So it is a little bit more delicate. So if you are planning on doing garnishes for a dessert or a cocktail, I would recommend doing this the day of, whereas cranberries can sit room temp in an airtight container for 3 days. The mint, you'll likely get like maybe a day out of it. So you can do this a couple ways. You can click off just individual leaves if you just want, like a subtle mint moment. Here, let me try and get some of these cranberries out of the way. And what I'm doing is I'm dunking it in the simple syrup, but I'm also kind of letting that excess syrup drip back into the bowl. Because these are so delicate, you don't want an excessive amount of syrup. We really just kind of want to kiss the mint. And that's just going to go right in with our other one. And these I kind of like to press in a little bit because they are so delicate. And I do like keeping the stem, so then you have something to grab onto. So like I said, if you just want like a little splash of green on your desserts or tarts, cocktails. There we go. And then lay it flat on a plate to dry. And then I'm also going to try doing it this way. I've only done it that way, but I am curious to kind of go for a frosted branch look. So I have the entire mint sprig. I am curious to see how that turns out. I haven't done this before. But you know what? We're experimenting live, and that's fun. That's fun. There we go. Kind of press it in. It does make it a little bit difficult as far as the angles go. But I think if I go like right over like that, it might work. I'm curious. I'm curious more than anything. You know what I mean? Okay. Here we go. All right. We'll see how that turns out. That branch look. It's kind of cool though. It looks kind of cool. Let me see if I can get a, right? All right. So I'm going to lay that flat to dry. And you will end up with some leftover simple syrup. Please save this. It makes an amazing mocktail or cocktail syrup. If you're not worried about keeping the flavors neutral, you could also add like a cinnamon stick or orange peel, a clove, things like that to also flavor your syrup if you're not really too worried about it affecting the taste of your overall dessert or cocktail. Okay, let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. And I'll show you the ones that I made ahead of time. Scoot that over. Okay. Whoop. Hey. Okay, so these are the ones that I made ahead of time. You will notice that they are pretty, oh my gosh, that's the wrong ones. You're like, what are you talking about? They look the same. Okay, you see how frosted those look? The sugar dries as they sit for a while, but look how super frosted and cute that is. You know what I mean? It's a nice way to elevate a dessert and kind of make it look like a patisserie made it. Makes it look more expensive than if you were to just like squirt on some, you know, colored frosting. You know what I mean? Plus, these are edible as is. And they're delicious. You could eat them. Oh my gosh. You can eat them just as is. So good. But let's have some more fun with this, okay? So remember how I said you could make like a mocktail with the leftover syrup? Let's just do that. Make a cute little mocktail and then garnish it with our cranberries. Okay. Let's see. Have a glass. I'm gonna fill it up with some ice. There we go. Stick that there. Bring y'all back down here. And I have a cranberry lime sparkling water. And do y'all remember our leftover simple syrup? Let's take some of that in a shot glass. Do. There we go. Just like a little, just to sweeten it a little bit. Pour that in our glass. Oh, I love that sound. I do have a happy hour coming up on Saturday that I hope you'll be joining me for, making coconut margaritas. There we go. And then let me get a smaller spoon so I'm not like trying to stir my drink with a ladle. That's just ridiculous. Here we go. And I'm just gonna top it off a little bit more. There we go. The heck is that? There's like something in my drink. I think it was like leftovers from the spoon or something. Trying to make it go away. Okay. All right. And then for our cranberry moment, da, 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 da. I'm trying. The angles have me all screwed up. There we go. And then just like a little cranberry situation, go 3. And then our frosted mint. Look. I will say that maybe the frosted mint doesn't work. I'm just gonna eat it. The frosted mint doesn't work as well as in a cocktail, but that is good. Look at that. Nice and frosted. But now we gotta try it out. And I realize this phone is in my face. That's good. So refreshing. Okay, one more little example. And it might be, you might be like, Kristen, what are you doing? But I don't care. Check this out. Let me move some stuff out of the way. All right, so I don't know if you're on TikTok, but there's a dessert out there that's a snack cake that's been around for a while. And I don't know if like people are just discovering it and how good it is, but it is so good. It's the Christmas tree cakes. I don't know if you've had one of these before, but they are banging and they still slap. I don't know why people are just figuring out about these. But here we go. This is what I'm going to do just to kind of demonstrate how you could elevate something. Obviously, you may want to make like a cheesecake or a delicious tart, something like that. That would be amazing. But, you know, I don't have any of that on hand, so I'd have to make it. And I didn't want to be over excessive here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to bring y'all up here for a sec. I'm just going to dust some powdered sugar over this. I know you're thinking, Kristen, why? But I just want to show you how even if you don't feel it, you don't want to make dessert, you can make these sugared cranberries and make a store-bought dessert look elevated and expensive. You know what I mean? I'm all for a deal and I'm all for a shortcut. Am I just using canned whipped cream? Yeah, I am. So I'm just do like a little dollop right here. Just like a little cranberry moment. I'll bring you up closer. There we go. And just like a little. See? Look at that. Look how cute that is. And it looks super elevated instead of, you know, we totally just put powdered sugar all over like that kitschy frosting with sprinkles, which is fine. It's delicious, don't get me wrong, but there's just something that's a little bit more elevated by putting the powdered sugar on with the sugar dusted cranberries and the sugar dusted mint. Super cute. Look at that. Here, I'll hold it. The light is kind of like blacking it out, but I'm not going to let this go to waste. I'm not going to lie. It still slaps. Tastes like my childhood. So good. Well, that's it, Kittch. I want to thank you for coming to my kitchen. I do have some exciting streams coming up. So Saturday, I'm doing coconut margaritas, which you may be saying, that's not holiday. I beg to differ. You got to tune in to find why. And next week on Monday, I'm going to be making migas, which is corn tortillas mixed in with eggs and some salsa. It's very, very delicious, quick breakfast. And we're also getting into tamales. So Wednesday, I'm going to be making the filling. And then on Friday, I'll show you how to wrap them and to steam them. And then you got to follow my channel for more. I need to schedule some more streams coming up. And I'm so excited that you stopped by to see how to make some sugared cranberries and mint. You can also follow me on social. I am on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at WTFIN Recipe. And I just want to let y'all know that I appreciate you. Thanks, Kittch. I'll talk to you later. Bye.